What you up to, Grandma? Looks like you're gonna squash something.
Looks like I'm gonna squash something, doesn't it?
It
All
does.
right, y'all. Today, as y'all know, it's getting close to the holidays, and I want to get a head start on it and kind of decide what I'm gonna make for my Thanksgiving and for Christmas. And so when I do that, I usually go ahead and make several of my casseroles and just try them out, and because sometimes I do them differently than I do other times, and so I like to just go ahead and kind of make them ahead, and then I'll put them in a little book, and I'll have all kinds of casseroles, all kinds of salads, this and that, and then I go back and I pick out the ones that I want to make for Thanksgiving. That's just a little tip. That's just, and that way I've already got it planned out. So that is an easy step that you can make. Go ahead and plan like a month or so more in advance. Try your recipes out. See if that's what you want to make, and if it is, then write them all down, and then you can go back and put a little check mark by the ones that you think you like the best and want to make. So today we're doing a squash casserole, and this is just a very simple, easy, gluten-free, low-carb squash casserole. So I've got 3 medium-sized squash here. Well, they'd be large, I guess, to some. Yeah, these are large squash. But, and if y'all have, I use this a lot. It's my little microwave steamer. I love it. You don't have to put water in it, especially with broccoli, squash, things that have vegetables that have a lot of water in them anyway. You do not have to add any water to this, and it steams them. It doesn't boil them, and it keeps a lot more of your flavor in when you steam your vegetables and don't boil them. If you don't have one of these, you can steam them in the microwave, or you can do it on top of the stove, but there again, you'd be doing it in water, so you lose some of your flavor when you cook them in water. And I like to have as much flavor as I can and as much nutrition. When you steam them, you don't lose hardly any of your nutritional value. Okay? Now, this is going to be a pretty big squash casserole. So what I may do is, may not use all of that. I may freeze some of it. We'll see. All right, now, when I steam my squash, I also like to steam my onions in with it, because I do want to pre-cook my onion just a little bit before I put it in my casserole, and I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I can cook my onions in with my squash. So I'm just cutting this in not really small chops, but kind of medium-sized chops. You can do it, it's according to how you like yours. You can do yours in fine dices if you want to, but we love onion in our squash. And this is the equivalent of 1 medium-sized to large onion. So I'm just kind of, and I could have already had this done, but a lot of you like to watch it, and so do I. When I'm watching somebody, I like to see how they prep their veggies. Because you know what? I can learn a lot of things by watching how other people do things, because it may be a lot simpler than the way I do it. So I love watching cooks prep their veggies. If you don't, you just skip through this part. Go to the recipe, because the recipe will be in the description box. Go to the recipe, and if you don't want to watch the videos. But I think you want to, ooh, that onion. That is a strong onion. Now, this got my eyes watering. I am not going to put any salt nor pepper or seasonings in my squash. I'm going to put it in the microwave on probably 7 minutes. I will check it after 7 minutes and see if I need to cook it any longer. I don't want it to cook to mush because it's going to cook in the oven for like 35 minutes. So, all right. Now I'm fixing to shred my cheese. And y'all know I love to shred my own cheese. So this is my little cheese shredder. Now this is extra sharp. Let me give you a little tip. The tears are fixing straight down my eyes. Let me give you a little tip. When you're using cheese in a recipe, if you use mild cheese, medium, sharp, extra sharp, that's your choice. But if you use sharp or extra sharp, you can cut your cheese by like a third because the flavor is so intense, it's so much stronger. If you use mild or medium, your flavor is not as strong as if you use sharp or extra sharp. So I can cut the amount of cheese that I put in a dish by 1/3 just by using the sharp or the extra sharp. That's what I have found, and that's just a little tip. So you can use it or you can go ahead and put the full amount, but I have found it doesn't take as much of your sharp or extra sharp cheese. But when I'm shredding, I like to go ahead and shred a lot. And that way I keep it in the refrigerator. And when I get ready for some shredded cheese, I just put it in a Ziploc bag. I've already got it shredded. And yes, it does. This does stick together because it doesn't have that caking, anti-caking agent in it to keep it from sticking. And that's the reason I like to do my own, is because it doesn't have that on it. A lot of times it's like tapioca starch or potato starch or some other kind of starch that keeps it from sticking together. Okay, and this is just this is Essentials. It's just an off-brand. I got it at, I think, Food Depot or maybe Aldi's. I might have got it at Aldi's. So I'm shredding more than I need. And I also, I don't know why this is not holding. I think it's because it's on this plastic cover here.
Yeah, on that plastic cover, you have to hold it down first before you turn the crank.
Yeah. All right.
Because that plastic can come up.
Right, yeah. It does stick to it as well. All right. I'm going to leave this because Roy and I, we like cheese and apples. We like cheese and fruit together, so we'll probably eat this. Just slice this and eat it. All right. I just wanted to show y'all how I shredded my cheese. And probably we're going to put a cup in it. No, probably 3/4 of a cup. 3/4 of a cup in it, and then just some over the top. So as soon as my squash and onions get ready, we'll be back and we're going to put all this together.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Like I said, this is going to be quick. It's going to be simple. And it's gluten-free. It's no sugar added. It's low carb. So, not many ingredients. While my squash is finishing cooking, I put about 1/4 of a cup of butter in my casserole dish, and I melted it. I've got my oven on 350. I'm gonna beat my eggs. Real good. Okay, get them beat up. This is gonna have sour cream, mayo, salt, pepper, garlic, cheese, squash, onions. That's it. All right, now I'm gonna put 1/4 cup of sour cream in here. Now, if you've never put sour cream in your squash casserole, it is delicious, really good. Okay. This is a 1/4 cup of sour cream. Alright. Now, we're going to do a 1/2 cup of mayo. No, that's a 1/3, sorry. 1/3 cup of mayo. Alright. 1/4 cup of sour cream, 1/3 cup of mayo. I don't know about y'all, but I like my squash casserole to be not too creamy, but a little creamy. Alright, now we're going to mix this. Stir this all up, whisk it. I like to whisk mine because I find that it mixes that mayo, sour cream, and eggs really well. If you just mix it, if you just whisk it. Alright, now we're going to put, since I didn't put any salt or anything in my squash, I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. I'm going to put 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. Put whatever seasonings in yours you would like. Alright. I think this is going to be enough. If not, I'll just add a little bit more to it because I've got more squash today than what I usually. But I don't have to use them all. I can freeze some of them. Okay. Now you want it whisk up really good, just like that. Alright. I had 33 seconds. Now I did put my squash back in there. You know, I put it on 7 minutes. And since this is more than what I usually do, don't do what I did. That's hot. Alright. Get another slotted spoon here. Alright, those are perfect. And that was 14 minutes. Because you don't want them mushy. That is hot, y'all. Let me get a pot holder. Okay. And it's all right if you put your squash in here when they're really hot. Just do not, I want y'all to look at, see all, I'm going to show you why. You see all that liquid in there? Look at that. Now I did not put any water in this at all. That is just what came out of the squash. That is the reason it's so much better to steam them if you can in the microwave. Do not get that liquid. Do not pour that liquid. You could strain this through a colander, but I just usually do it like this. And I am going to use all these squash because they do shrink some when you steam them. Look at all that water. Look at there.
Mm-hmm.
That's what came out of your squash. All right. I'm going to stir this up. All right. Now this mixture looks real thin because my squash were so hot. But when it cooks, it's just gonna all cook together and gonna make it really nice. But see, that's perfect right there. Now, if your squash are cold and not hot, it's not gonna look this liquidy. All right. Now, I'm gonna pour most of my 1/4 cup of butter, 1/4 cup of butter in my mixture. Then I'm going to measure this out for y'all because I told you it wouldn't take as much. Okay.
Because it's extra strong cheese?
It's extra sharp cheese. That was a 1/2 cup. So that was really 1/2 cup and a 1/4 cup, which is 3/4 of a cup, 3/4 of a cup, where I would usually put like 1 1/4 cups of cheese. I only put 3/4 of a cup. Okay. Get my measurements right. All right. Pour this in my buttered dish. Now, if you're not watching your carbs and you don't want it to be gluten-free or low carb, you can put, you can top yours with crackers, like crumbled up crackers or crumbled up breadcrumbs, whatever, but I like to just top mine with more cheese. My oven has come up to temp. Now remember, I'm only going to put enough on the top just to kind of cover it. And yeah, if you're a cheese lover, put as much as you want. There. All right, y'all. This is going in a 350-degree oven. And it's going to cook about probably 30-35 minutes. And then we'll come back and taste of it for you. All right, y'all.
You letting me play in front of the camera?
Y'all. This is, wait a minute.
Isn't it beautiful?
This is my beautiful squash casserole. Now, if you don't like, I cook mine 40 minutes. If you don't like yours that brown, take it out in 30 or 35 minutes, but that's the way we like ours.
That looks
I want to
good.
show you the texture.
Good.
Look at that texture. Wow.
In my acorn plate.
Look at that.
That
Okay.
looks great.
It's hot and honey. I've been letting it cool about 5 minutes,
You're
but
setting me up to burn myself, aren't you?
just taste. All right, let me know. Now your squash are not mushy. They're not cooked all to pieces. But that's the way we like it. Is it good?
That's right on.
Does it have enough cheese? See, you can cut that cheese by a third, but
Well,
I'll have it in the recipe.
The flavor of the cheese is great.
Good, good.
Whether the amount, but
That's
since
up
you
to
use
the individual.
Yeah, since you use the strong cheese, it's just delicious.
But you put as much
Great.
cheese in yours. I'll have the original recipe. I say the original, my original, because this is my recipe. So,
This is so good.
and then you can add to, take away. You can half this. This is so easy to half. You can even freeze it after you cook it. Just take it out, let it, put it in the refrigerator, let it thaw. Freezes really, really well, but I would freeze it. I made the mistake one time of freezing it before I cooked it, and when I took it out, it was watery. So since then, I have cooked it and then frozen the portion that I wasn't going to eat. So
This is great. And for those of you who are low carb, this is just free food.
all right, move that spoon, baby. I want to show them this texture. Look at that.
Food feeds the family, family feeds the heart, and God feeds the soul. And we thank Him for this food and our help. Remember, don't wait till tomorrow to be nice to someone you love.
Love y'all.